Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced, and this is a game from round 6 of Fide World Cup, and this is a game played between prodigies. This is a game played between PRAGG and Arjun, and definitely a high stakes game as it's not about just the position of getting a chance to win the World Cup, but also whoever wins this game gets a spot in the candidates tournament as well. So definitely a high stakes game. So without further ado, let's start with this game. PRAGG is with the white pieces and he starts with knight to f3, and we have d5 by Arjun, and we have g3 g6 going for this double fianchetto variation, and we have bishop to g2 and just bishop to e7. And we have very nice d4, and here going for this knight to f6, just preparing castles, and we have castles and castles by both players, and we have the very nice c4. Normally you see the c4 in many of the variations, and we have c6 going for this crumple kind of setup. And here PRAGG goes for a very aggressive line with this queen to a4, and we have knight after d, knight back after d7, but here just queen to b3 and just very nice a5. And now PRAGG goes for a trade in the center with the c captures, but instead of recapturing, here Arjun goes for the very nice a4, attacking the queen, and only once the queen moves he recaptures the pawn, and we have just knight to c3, but just knight to b6. And here Arjun is preparing to put all the pieces on the queen side and shift the attack to the queen side. And here bishop to f4 was played, but here again knight to c6, just developing those pieces, and we have rook to c1, but the very nice rook to a5. And we have b3 trying to trade off that pawn, and we have a captures, and just the bishop to g4. And we have knight to e5, just asking for more trade, but instead of trading, here Arjun goes for this bishop back to e6. And we have queen to d2, but just this queen to a8. And we have e3 just cementing that bishop, but just rook to c8. And here knight back to d3 was played, and this knight is definitely very strong, controlling a lot of squares. So here Arjun goes for bishop to f5, trying to trade the bishop for the knight. And here PRAGG should have gone for this rook after d1, and after a move like h6, going for this g5 in the future, you prevent that altogether with this h4. And after e6, you go for this very nice bishop to d6. Only after a move like knight back to d7, you go for this b4, pushing the rook back, and once the rook moves back, now you go for queen to e1. And only now when the trade comes, and after rook captures, and the bishops get off the board as well with bishop to f8, and bishop captures and knight captures, now you go for this rook to b1, just going for that b5, but instead you will get this rook to a3, just spinning that rook, and once the rook moves, and now after a move like knight to e7, just putting the pressure on that knight, you go for this rook to c1, just defending it, and after a move like knight to f5, you go for this very nice knight to b5, just going for that rook. So we'll mostly see a trade, rook captures, queen captures, and yes, black does have control over the a file, but you'll get this very nice control over the c file. So it's a trade-off where white is a little bit better. But instead PRAGG just went for h3, and here Arjun got the very nice idea of just trading that knight. So we have bishop captures and queen captures, and just going for this very nice e6, just cementing that position. And now we have the rook after d1, but just bishop back to f. And here PRAGG goes for bishop back to f1, but just knight to b4, just going for that queen. And once the queen moves, now going for this rook to a3, just going after that pawn. So you have to defend it. So here PRAGG defends it by going for this queen to b2, but just a very sneaky knight to a2. And now you'll have to trade. So knight captures, rook captures, and first going for this rook captures, and only after the knight captures, now you move the queen with queen to c3. And here Arjun gets the very brilliant idea of going for this knight to e7, just getting a hold of that very nice f5 square, and that will definitely come in handy as you'll see later in the game, because here PRAGG just goes for b4, but we have this very nice knight to f5 going as planned, and we have rook to c1 getting a complete hold of the c file, and we have just this bishop to d6, just asking for a trade, but the bishop to e5, PRAGG says that if you want to trade, we'll trade on the e5 square. So Arjun goes for it. We have bishop captures and b captures, and we have just a nice prophylactic king to g7, never allowing that king to remain on a target on the back rank. And we have again the b5, but just the very nice queen to d8. And here again queen to b4 was played, but we have the very nice. Here Arjun goes for the very nice d4, but here PRAGG instead goes for this e4, trying to attack the knight. But here Arjun gets the very brilliant idea, and he goes for a piece sacrifice as he plays this knight caps on g3. And after f captures, and you might think like it is a blunder, but that pass pawn on the d file is just too strong, and here pass pawns must be pushed. So here Arjun goes for d3, but just here what PRAGG should have gone for was just to go for this king to h1, and yes, you get this rook to f2, which looks scary. But after a move like queen to d6, asking for a queen trade, you definitely don't want to trade, so instead you go for this queen to g5, going for the attack, but you get this very nice rook to c8. Now that will be checkmate, so you have to be very careful. So rook caps on f1, and after a move like king to g2, you don't have much tempo, so you have to go for the rook sacrifice with rook to g1 check, and after king captures, now you go for this queen caps on g3, and once the king moves, now you'll get this very nice perpetual. But instead PRAGG completely misses the idea and goes for this bishop to g2, and that's just not going to do. So pause the video and try to find this brilliant, amazing tactic that wins the game on the spot for Arjun while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move, and the move is this beautiful queen to b6 check, just connecting nicely, and what you have to find is not just the queen to b6 check, but the continuation that follows it, because after king to h2 you have to find this queen to f2. And now you might think, okay, but I'll just block it with this rook to g1, and now what do you have to say about that? Well, the continuation is this very spectacular rook to e2. Now there's no stopping this promotion. And Arjun sees it, and now there's too little Pragg can do about this position, but Pragg still tries as he goes for this queen to e7, going for this check and trading the queens. So here Arjun, without wasting any time, goes for this d2, but just this queen to f6, and we see a trade. Queen captures, pawn captures, and king captures. And here rook to f1 check was played, but just king to e5. And here, just after king to g1, we have not even capturing that pawn, not even bothered to actually grab that pawn, but going for this very nice king to d4. And we have bishop to f3, even attacking the rook. But even here, Arjun goes for this very spectacular king to e3, not even bothered that the rook will be captured. But you see that if you capture that and after king captures, there's no stopping this promotion. So here bishop to g4 was played by Pragg. Again, spectacular move after the other. We have this very amazing h5, and the bishop has nowhere to go but instead to capture that rook. So we have bishop captures on e2, and after king captures, we have this rook to f2 check, and after king to d3. And here rook to f1 was played, but just king to c2. And here rook to f2 was played again, pinning that, but we have just this king to c1. And here rook captures on f7 was played, but we have this d1 with we have this rook to f1. But now you might think like it's a draw with the equal pawns, but Arjun is just a bit tempo up. Here Arjun not doing anything, but instead he goes for the spectacular e5. But now here Pragg goes for b6, but Arjun delivers the final blow as he goes for this queen captures on f1. And it was on this move, on move 53, that Pragg resigned the game. And definitely what a brilliant performance by Arjun, going for that knight sacrifice on g3 and just this queen sacrifice on f1. I mean, just spectacular play. And why he resigned, because if you go for king captures, you have this very nice king to d2, and yes, you have king to f2, but black has king to d3. And even if you go for this king to f3, trying to oppose the black king and trying to protect your pawn as well, you have this g5. And now whatever you do, if you push this pawn, you get this, and then the white king has to move. If the other way around, if you push this pawn, then this comes with the check, and now you have to move, and black will simply just grab this pawn and promote this pawn to victory. So yeah, Pragg resigned the game, but he'll definitely have a chance to come back in tomorrow's game. So yeah, thank you for watching. Just waiting for that. I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you.